Hi YouTube, today I'm going to show you a quickie video on how to replace the front door checker assembly on a 7th generation 2001 through 2005 Honda Civic or a 2nd generation Acura EL, also from 2001 through 2005. So a problem I have with my door checker here is that it has the inability to hold the door open. So today I'm going to show you how to replace the part that keeps this door nice and tight. So we'll start off the replacement process by opening up our driver's side door here and then just pulling out our door handle and using a small flat bladed screwdriver to pop off the little access cover, exposing the 2 Phillips screws located here and here. Using a number 2 Phillips, remove the screws from the door panel. And that's what those 2 screws look like. Carefully maneuver this little cup assembly by pushing it this way and then folding this backside out, exposing the electrical connector, which you can unplug like this, and then exposing the door rod behind the panel. Now, to remove the actual door handle assembly, we actually need to use a screwdriver to pop this little piece off here on the door rod and then unlatching it from this piece here. So I've used a screwdriver to unlatch this little brown latch and just using my finger to lift up to remove it. What we need to do now is remove the front fascia cover here on the actual driver's side door handle. And how we're going to accomplish that is that there's a little notch just right in this location here. And I'm going to use my oversized trim panel tool to actually do the removal by prying up on the cover like this. Go ahead and unplug the electrical connector for the power locks and power windows. Remove the Phillips screw located right here, directly behind the power window connector assembly, and then the other Phillips screw located just on the door bolster. Using a flat bladed screwdriver or your trim panel tool, let's go ahead and remove this top little triangular garnish piece from the window assembly by just gently prying up on it, or just using your hands to remove it. To remove the door panel, the easiest thing to do is just use your bare hands underneath the door assembly here and just give it a good tug. And if you can't get your fingers underneath the door card, you can always use your trim panel tool just to pry between the frame and the panel like this, and they're just held in with a bunch of pop rivets. And then once you loosen it, go ahead and remove the door. Pay careful attention to your electrical connectors so you don't damage any of them. To remove the door checker from the body's frame, we're going to undo this 12mm bolt holding this assembly onto the car's frame. Now, using a 10mm socket, we can now remove the door checker holding screws right here in the door frame. Carefully peel back this water splash guard just enough to get you access into the door to remove this door checker. Using your left hand, reach into the door and fish the old door checker out. Like this. This is what the new door checker looks like. It's part number 72380-S5D-A11 for a 2001 through 2005 Honda Civic or 2001 through 2005 Acura EL sedan. So this part here is about 20 bucks at Honda. My understanding is that you can only buy it from Honda, so let's go ahead and put it in. Proceed to fish the new checker through the opening in the doorway. Reinstall your 10mm bolts. Using your 10mm ratchet and tighten it. Reattach your door's splash guard and try to line it up as best as you can to remake the seal. Now what we're going to do here is that we're going to now try to line this door checker up with the door frame assembly. Now lining this up can be a hair tricky, and the reason why is that the new checker is really tight and doesn't have much give, so you're just going to have to kind of open and close the door as required to get it to fit and line up properly. Go ahead and just tighten it. Snug is all you need. It doesn't have to be torqued down like it was from the factory. And as you can tell, the door right now is a lot tighter than what it used to be like, which is a good thing. We'll go ahead and reinstall the door card assembly by holding the door panel up to the door, and then at an angle like this, press this front seal up against the glass, and then doing your very best to line things up, including the door plunger for the power, well, for the door locks. If you can, also don't forget to fish the wires up for the power lock switch here, and then on the bottom side for the power window assembly, like this. And then your door and the little pop rivets should line up almost perfectly, and you can just give the door a gentle push, and then a good firm hit, and the door card should be easily reattached to the frame itself. So here's a quick service tip, guys. Once you've installed the door panel assembly back onto the actual door, make sure that you also pay attention to the door opener rod right here, and making sure that the door plunger is also installed and aligned properly in the panel. Go ahead and reinstall your Phillips screws. Reconnect the power window connecting harness. Reattach the lower arm bolster cover trim piece by placing it this notched section into here, and then give it a good firm whack. Reinstall the door opener assembly by lining up the rod and this little hole here, placing it on, and then flipping the lever over, locking it onto the rod so it doesn't pop off. Reconnect the power door lock switch, and then ever so carefully, with the front side in first, reinstall the handle. Replace the 2 Phillips screws. Reinstall the trim cover piece. Reinstall the upper door panel garnish by lining up the hole to this plastic tab. So the final step here, once we've reinstalled everything, is to make sure that our door plunger here is aligned, that everything that we've removed fits back together the way it did before we took everything apart. And of course we want to make sure that we go ahead and check the functionality of all of our power windows and power locks, which I've done prior to this. And then of course making sure that the door checker itself is working properly, which in this case it is. So I hope you found this video useful and informative. Rate, comment, and subscribe.